Governor Sandoval, welcome, and please proceed when you are ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Armstrong, members of the committee, members of the legislature, and everyone who's in attendance. It really is a privilege to be able to present to all of you today. Mr. Chairman, you mentioned that it's been 72 days since I delivered my inaugural address, where I spoke of the building of the foundation for the generations to come, the children of our state. I also gave a speech on the steps of the Capitol when I gave my inaugural speech, and I talked about the fact that we needed to modernize and transform Nevada to prepare her for the next 50 years through investment and reform. Today is the day, as you say, that I alluded to in both of those speeches. The time and place where the most difficult decisions await us, where the real debate begins. I thank everyone who's here today who's going to testify in their willingness to be heard, especially the former governors, whose experience, wisdom, perspective are invaluable to the consideration of this bill. We were chatting immediately before this hearing, and we don't believe that any time in our proud 150 years of Nevada history that three governors, along with the serving governor, have participated in the presentation of a bill. So I'd ask if you'd give them an appropriate welcome. As you can see, Governor List and Senator Bryan are with us here in Carson City, and Governor Miller is with us in Las Vegas. Governor Miller, if you'd wave for us, I'd appreciate it. There he is. Now, as I prepared my remarks, I thought it appropriate to reflect just a moment. In 2011, we worked together to navigate the Silver State out of the worst economic storm of our time. We faced 14% unemployment, a $2 billion budget deficit, a reeling economy, and worst in the nation education performance. There was great debate and differences, but in the end, we made the difficult decisions and came together as Nevadans to keep our fragile state afloat. It was a time of resiliency. In 2013, unemployment was down and the economy was improving and it was diversifying. We began to see the light at the end of the tunnel. We began to make modest investments in our education system and our infrastructure. It was a time of recovery. Today, as I mentioned in my State of the State, I believe that we stand at a new threshold. Some good news. Over the last year, we have the sixth strongest decline in unemployment in the nation. Our 3.6% gain in jobs over the past 3 years is third strongest in the nation. We are in the top 10 in many other important economic indicators. And we are the third fastest growing state in population. It's a time of resurgence. On the education front, I sadly reported a few weeks ago that Nevada is last in the nation in its high school graduation rate. But again, there is some good news. Just the day before yesterday, I had the opportunity to speak with Education Secretary Duncan regarding our students improving graduation rates. I'm proud to report that our rate of improvement for graduation rates from 2011 to 2013 is among the top gains in the nation, up almost 9% and almost 4 times the national average. Thank you. The rate of improvement for our African American students is 12.8%, again, one of the top in the nation. And for our Hispanic students, the rate is 10.95%, again, one of the top in the nation. However, and it's a big however, even with these gains, our graduation rates continue to lag the nation. Now, I know all of you, like me, visit the schools, and it's been Nevada Reading Week and month, and we've all taken the time to read at the schools. And as you see those kids with their legs crossed, and as they listen to you, I think you see what I see, which is unlimited potential in every child that lives in our state. They are the ones who will inherit the Nevada we build for them today. Our greatest investments and most strategic reforms must be made in the ways we educate our children. It is in their minds, hearts, and dreams within which the future of our state relies. It will do no good to bring innovative and breakthrough industries to our state if we cannot provide the educated workforce to fill the employment opportunities that they bring. And one can only estimate the economic loss and opportunity lost due to companies that simply choose not to come to Nevada due to our education system. Most of all, we must regain the confidence that when the Nevada family's sons and daughters leave for school, we have done right by them through adequate investment, reform, and accountability. Our schools and their demographics are simply different than they were 50 years ago. In Clark County, 71% of the children enrolled are minorities. 60.39% of them qualify for free and reduced priced lunch. For the rest of the state, 45% are minorities and 44% qualify for free and reduced lunch. Now, I appreciate the hard work of your committees. You have heard the budget proposals that will increase investments in pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, Read by 3, ELL, Victory Schools, technology, career and technical schools, gifted and talented programs, STEM education, special education, charter schools, JAG, professional development for teachers and administrators, merit pay, and begin the process of modernizing the way that we fund our education system. All of these proposals, all of them, and this is something that I have assured the business community, come with accountability and performance measures that ensure that all the dollars invested go only to where they're intended. Most encouraging for me, in my over 100 meetings with business leaders, with legislators, industry representatives, and other stakeholders, is the almost universal agreement that we have to invest in our children and in our schools. And they understand for when they do that, they also invest in their own economic well-being and their employees. The biggest disagreement comes in how we fund education while also building a revenue structure that meets the demands of a growing state. Now, as I considered this business license fee, we learned the lessons from 2003 and the proposed gross receipts proposal, the 2011 margins tax proposal, and question 3, which was rejected substantially by the voters last November. Senate Bill 252 is not those proposals. It has lower rates, distinguishes between business, and is easy to administer and comply. We also considered increasing the modified business tax. However, we soon learned, like you, that currently less than 3% of Nevada businesses pay it. We also had to accept this hard reality, which I think you are all learning as well, that our current revenue structure, even in an improving economy, left a $150 million hole in our current budget. Our current tax structure simply does not keep up with growth or reflect our changing economy. Now, as I went into this endeavor, 3 guiding principles informed my efforts as we pursued the best possible revenue structure for our state. And I know that you have all heard me say this over and over again, but it had to be broad-based, it had to be simple to enact and to comply with, and it had to be fair. The business license fee as proposed is broad-based because it will apply to all Nevada businesses. The BLF is fair because it allows for a 15% growth factor so that businesses can grow before incurring a greater tax liability. It also differentiates between business types. Businesses have different costs of labor and goods, and the BLF recognizes that. Construction is not the same as a retailer, and a retailer is not the same as a resort hotel. The business license fee is simple because it takes advantage of an existing revenue collection structure and can be enacted immediately. Now, I'm aware that you've already conducted hearings on the MBT and service taxes. And I also understand that Senator Spearman, as well as members of the Republican Assembly, are considering proposals of their own. I commend you for that. It takes a lot of courage and it takes a lot of hard work. And as you've worked on this, I think you've come to the same conclusion that I did and what I talked about in the State of the State, that there is no perfect tax. And as I said before, I remain open and willing to meet and chat and talk with both of you and work with you and invite that debate to work together so that we fix a tax system that is antiquated and unprepared for the challenges ahead. It simply is not 1960 anymore. But most importantly, in all these meetings, what has been most heartening for me is that we all agree that any revenue proposal must be adequate to reach the revenue targets that will build a strong education system for the new Nevada. In closing, I truly believe that we are living in a moment that demands vision, craves leadership, and requires teamwork. We have an opportunity, a golden opportunity to bring our state from the depths of the recession to a vibrant national leader that can lead the nation in education, jobs, and innovation. We have a duty to take this challenge on now, rather than leaving it for future legislators, future governors, and for the next generation of Nevadans. Indeed, it's my belief, it's my heartfelt belief that we have a once-in-a-lifetime chance to define who we are and what Nevada will be. We've weathered the recession, we fought for recovery, and now I ask you to join me in setting the course for our resurgence in the new Nevada. After you hear the many witnesses today and for the next few days, I understand, Mr. Chairman, I would respectfully ask for your support of Senate Bill 252. As I sit here as a Nevadan, this is one of the most proudest moments of my life for us to come together as Nevadans from every corner of this state and to work on a policy that truly is going to chart the course for every man, woman, and child now. And as you said, Mr. Chairman, for that group of Nevadans in 2064 who are going to look back and see how we acted and what we did. So ladies and gentlemen, at this point, members of the committee, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to invite the former governors to join me at the table. We have Governor Miller in Las Vegas. We have Governor Bryan, or Senator Bryan, who's with us today, as well as Governor List. Gentlemen, if you'd please join me. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity to be with you today.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.